is amazing because he helps us a lot at kenmcroy.com. He helps businesses, revamp their website so it flows with Google. And he does Google ads. Corey, why don't you just help give people a little background about yourself?
My end goal is basically just to serve people that don't know, because a lot of small businesses don't know how to run ads. They don't know how to do marketing. So after about 90 days, when they're on their own, start this company, and now I can actually help small businesses, which is actually how you and I met doing a couple of businesses that you've been working on. So,
because I think ads for small businesses, ads and also Google placement, right? Those are two big ones that I see business owners or apartment owners trying to figure out. I think it's easy for these people to be swindled because they don't know what they're doing, right? I think that that happens in a lot of small businesses. Like either they put someone else in charge or maybe they try to run their own ads. We were kind of introduced to something called A/B testing. So can you explain what that is a little? Because that really was helpful for us.
A/B testing is basically a way for you to see what's working and what's not working, where you can take an example like your website, you like how it's working, but you want to see perhaps if we change it and do it a different layout. Let's run that at a certain time. So you can either run both of the campaigns at the same time so that we can kind of judge the performance on each one and see which is performing better and make tweaks better depending on the performance.
I know when we talk to a lot of regular marketing companies, and we had one of your clients that we both know, somebody wanted to charge him $12,000 for like a month of ads and was like, we'll get your apartments filled and everything else. And you kind of looked at it and you said, okay, wait. Month one is literally just collecting data, but I think it's important people know that it's not a quick throw all your money in month one and then you're going to just get sales, because it doesn't work like that.
It's not. And a lot of my business, I set up on transparency because you need to be able to see the results and be able to track the ROI and know, okay, when I spend $500, what does that actually mean? It's more than just clicks. It's okay, out of how many clicks to the website from people that are searching for my company and going to the website, how many people are actually calling, how many people are filling out the subscription forms. And then out of that, how many of those are actually legitimate? And how many of those are actually closing, and what are the sales on that after you consider all the overhead and subtract the cost of the ads? And then only when you can really find the number that makes sense where you're actually profitable, and whatever that may be for whatever business it is, whether you're selling a product or if you have a service, sometimes not an actual profit because you're just getting subscriptions. So when you spend $500 and you're getting 500 subscriptions that are free, it's hard to track, okay, what's the value in that aspect? So you always want to try to start smaller and then build as you bring results. You can't start too small with a budget where you don't have enough of a platform to work with. $100 a month could get you 100 clicks to your website. And if you get very specific with what type of click, so if you have a landing page that's very specific to a specific area that you have a lot of properties within, let's say Scottsdale, and then in Scottsdale, you want to show houses in this specific area. You could target anyone nationwide that's looking for houses for sale in Scottsdale. So whether they're in New York or Texas, we can funnel them to that location.
How does somebody know how much a cost per click would be for their specific business in their area?
There are tools online that you can go, if you just go on Google and you search like keyword tools or planning cost tools. There's some that are on there, some just free trials of that. I always use Google Ads. So because I build all my accounts within Google Ads, Google has their own keyword tool within the program that allows me to put in anything. I can basically put in like houses for sale near me, and I can look to see what the month-to-month search traffic is.
But I also wanted to talk about the website, Corey, because this is something I didn't really realize until working with you is, you can have the perfect Google ad and it can draw traffic and people can click on it. But if they go to a website, and think about this in your own mind too, if you go to a website and it's at all confusing or not straightforward. So could you talk a little bit about that and what you see kind of in some of your clients' websites that you work with?
Online shopping, whether it's looking for a service or actually shopping for like a product, is kind of like window shopping. You're at the mall, but instead of having to just walk to the next store, you literally can just click and just swipe next to all the windows and just kind of look. So like people don't stay on people's websites very long. So the landing page is very important. So you could be, like I said, I could run the best ad targeting the perfect person that is the client and send them to a website. If it just doesn't have for the right elements, or if it's not the right page, or it doesn't have the right information, or if it doesn't have reviews. A lot of it's just being descriptive with the keywords. So if you want, if you want to help your ranking on Google, the best way is to have good descriptions on the website, because Google's only going to match what people are typing with the content that's on the site. So if your website is heavy with imagery, or if it has lots of video, that's great. As far as the user experience, once they actually land there, but to actually have your site rank on Google, you want to have a lot of descriptions and good headlines that really inform the user where to go. Having good, unique landing pages is always very helpful too. You have a bunch of properties that are in Mesa, and you also have some that are in Scottsdale, and you have some in Tempe. If you have a significant amount of inventory in each one of those locations where it makes sense to make a unique landing page that's specific to the city, that would be a great place to send people to. So if someone was going to Google and they search houses for sale in Scottsdale, and the banner image is an image of Scottsdale, and then it shows all the listings for Scottsdale, and then there's a phone number that's a 480 area code that, makes those people feel comfortable because they know it's a Scottsdale number, so it feels local, and that could just be a standalone page, and they don't even have to navigate away from that page because it matches exactly what it is they're typing.
Even if you're not running ads, you're just a small business, and you just have a website, like, it's really important that the website flows, because you really need it to flow. So you really need to be tracking your traffic and understanding where they're stopping. And it might not even be a bad idea to just play around with Google Ads just to see where those holes on the website might be for even your organic searchers.
It would definitely help. I mean, I suggest anyone that's trying to get people to go to a site to set up an ad campaign, even at a lower budget, and let it run, because the data that it provides you with, everything from the age to income range to gender to where your ads are showing, that's all valuable information that you could then apply that to your site to make the site more specific, to tailor to the customers that are actually visiting the site. Or because the people visiting your site through paid ads are probably going to be the same people that are going to be visiting it organically. But yeah, depending on the issue, some people can't show organically because there's just so much competition for the first page of Google. So their options would be to get on all the free networks, all the free social media programs, on the Google, on the Yelps, on TripAdvisor, all the third parties that are out there. And also collaborating with other bloggers too. You can collaborate with other people that have blogs or podcasts and kind of like what we're doing and plug into them. So now with you guys post this podcast on YouTube and on your website, and you actually put my website on there as well, and my name is on there and all that information. When someone would go to Google and search advertiser advisors, there's a good chance that your guys' website will be one of the pages that show up on the first page of Google because it talks about my company.
Let everyone know your company is Advertiser Advisors. And we're going to put the link for that in the show notes. And how is the best way for people to reach you?
If you go to the website, the best way would be just to sign up for a meeting. There's a free link right on there, schedule a meeting with me. That'd be the best thing. You can also email me at Corey, Corey, at advertiseradvisors.com. And then you can also call me at 480-299-1147.